Don't forget to subscribe to the Hammer and Nails YouTube channel, and be sure to click the bell icon for notifications of future uploaded content. Warning. Drinking and the use of power tools is highly inadvisable. Know your limits before attempting anything from the show, or don't. You're an adult. I'm not your mother. Then I build it all back from scratch with my hammer and nails.
Welcome back to Hammer and Nails, the show where I drink and review different exotic beers, build things, and fix broken shit. Today, we're going to be building a wooden beer mug. Well, as always, in true Hammer and Nails fashion, we're going to start with a piece of reclaimed lumber. Alright, so this is a 5.5 piece of what looks like white oak. And first things first, we're going to run it through the planer just to get rid of this little bit of a polyurethane clear coat on top. The backside is in pretty good shape, but we're going to go ahead and run that through as well. Okay, the next thing I want to do is cut this board into a little bit more manageable pieces. Besides, it has some nail holes in it all the way down through here, so we want to go ahead and cut those out as well. One of the next things we want to do is run our pieces through an edge planer. And what this is going to do is give us a perfectly square edge on our board for when we run it through the table saw. And that'll make us have a very perfect straight cut. Favorite part of the show, mystery beer. All right, let's give it a taste. Oh man. Oh, that's super good. I mean, I'm a fan of light beer, so this is pretty refreshing for a light beer. Oh my gosh. Oh, I could drink those. Oh man. All right, well, that's really good. Let's go ahead and get back to our project, and then we'll keep going with this. Fine. I'm anxious to see what this is. Take another sip. Oh, good. All right, now it's time for some math. I know most of you probably don't like this. I can imagine why. What we're going to do is we're going to set the table saw to a 12-degree angle. All right? We're going to unlock the table saw. Boom. And we're going to adjust it. 5, 10, 11, 12. Right there. Let's lock it back so it doesn't move. So the reason we set the table saw to a 12-degree angle is because each piece that we make are going to have 2 beveled ends on it like this. And that's going to make 24 degrees. Now a mug is a circle, and there's 360 degrees in a circle. So we got 360 degrees in a circle divided by 24 degrees on each piece. That means we're going to have to make 15 pieces. And that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to cut them on the table saw. So our first cut, I'm going to take our square edge that I made on the edge planer. And then I'm actually going to make it so that the table saw cuts this bevel on this end first, all right? And I'm going to do that individually for each piece, and that'll give us a place to start. That's why we stay clear. We got all of our strips cut, and I think we have a little bit more than what we actually need, but it's always good to have more than not enough. What we're going to do is I'm going to take the miter saw, and I'm actually going to make a jig that allows us to cut perfect 6.5 inch pieces this way. All right, and I'll show you what we're going to do and how we're going to assemble them. All right, so we got a little line right here on our saw, and this is 6.5 inches from the edge of the blade here. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to take this little block of wood, and I'm going to run a screw through the back of here into it like that, and that'll give us perfect 6.5 inch pieces. All right, now it's time for an update on the mystery beer. This beer is it's light. It's definitely a lighter style beer, and I wouldn't say it's a light beer. It's not one of those commercial light beers. It's definitely got like a lager or a pilsner taste. Very good. I'm a lighter beer drinker. It's just what I like. It's what I grew up drinking. As far as taste and everything, it tastes different than those commercial beers. It does have a different distinction. So it's not your mainstream Bud Light, Miller Lite. It's not all those. It is definitely its own type unique beer. So very good. I enjoy it. Now I was gonna pour it into a mug, but we're making our own mug. So why would we go and do that? So speaking of mugs, there's a term called getting mugged. I'm sure you're familiar with it. And what that was is when people would have these old wooden mugs with the solid bottom, you couldn't see anything. So when you would go to drink, if this were a solid wooden mug, when you'd go to drink, a person that was looking to rob you or beat you up, they would hit the bottom of the mug into your face and then proceed to whoop ass, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our mug and we are going to put a clear bottom on it. So as you're drinking, you can see through the mug. So it'll be pretty neat. To accomplish what we're going for on the bottom of the mug, we're going to come back to our table saw here and make our blade back at a 0-degree angle. Next, we're going to move the rip fence out of the way. I'm just going to go ahead and take it all the way off. Next, we're going to put this piece here, and all we want to do is actually cut into the bottom of this, only about a 1/2 inch, about halfway between here and here. Oh, sorry, right there. So we only want to go from here to there. We're going to cut in about 1/2 inch deep, and we're only going to cut a single blade width. We're not going to go any wider than that. All right? And what that will allow us to do is actually use this piece of plexiglass for the bottom. And I'll show you guys how to do that here later on. All right, we're going to lower the blade. About right there. And that should take out about a little less, a little more than half. Let's go a little less. And about right there. It'll take about half of it out. And then we're going to use this little guide right here to make sure we get square cuts. Like that. We're going to do that to the bottom of every single one of these. And all we want is about as wide as the blade. We don't want to go any wider than that. Maybe a little bit. If we get lucky, we can go a little bit wider than that. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm going to cut all 15 of them this way. All right, well, here we are. These are all of our pieces, all 15 of them, with this little lip that we've cut in this entire thing. What we're going to do now is I'm actually going to take this piece of wood here just as a backer, if you will. So what we're going to do is we're going to do that, and we're going to take each one of these pieces, we're going to flip them upside down until they all touch like this. And this is how we're going to put them together. Once we get this done, I'm going to take tape. We're going to tape it all the way across this, and you'll see how they go together here. But all this board here, all this is to just give us a straight edge for all of these pieces to sit against. Here's that. Like that. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to take some tape. I got some of these, some of this, just basically baseball stitching tape. I don't know where it came from. Maybe my wife, I think, had it for crafting, but right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to just tape it together like this. What this is going to give us is basically going to give us an accordion effect. You'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second. So, got that way. Now, we can actually pick this up and roll it together. Look at that. Like this. Ready? Here we go. We'll make these ends touch like that. This is basically going to give us what our cup's going to look like that. There you go. Now, to show you on the bottom here, just cut this excess off. This is just a place marker. What we're actually going to do, we're going to glue each individual link. This is just give you an idea of what it'll look like. So there you go. You see that little lip in there? That is going to allow us to put our piece of clear plexiglass on it. All right, and we can adhere it right in there. So that'll allow us to be able to see through the mug. Well, I just found something out. I found out by removing one, it actually makes it fit together a lot tighter. Like that. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're actually going to remove one. It's going to be perfect. Cool. That's what we'll do. Well, let's get to gluing. All right, we're going to be using this Tight Bond wood glue. As you can tell, it's waterproof, interior, exterior. This is going to be good to adhere our pieces together and to help give us a more waterproof seal on this stuff. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the glue and we're going to put it in each one of these cracks right here. you have your mug clamped, you want to make sure that you clean out the excess glue on the inside as best as you can now while it's still a little wet, because you won't get a very good chance later. There we are. Let's move on to the handle. Well, we're just going to take this little leftover piece of oak here, and I'm going to draw a handle out of it, and we're going to cut it out on the scroll saw. All right, here's our mug all clamped up. Next thing we want to do is measure the inside lip of this mug. Remember how we did it on the table saw there. Now this is just about 4 inches. All right, so it's like 3 7/8. We're gonna measure over, let's say 5 inches, just to give us ample working room. Okay, we've let our mug sit for 6 hours, so I went ahead and released the clamp. I left some of the rubber bands and the tape on because I'm not fully ready to let all that go. What we're going to do next is we're going to epoxy right here and put our clear bottom plate like that. But first, we want to clean this with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Okay, we mixed up a little bit of a 2-part food grade epoxy. What we're going to do is we're going to slowly put some right here. We're going to use this little guy. This little guy is a little silicone brush. Epoxy won't stick to it as bad. use these cans of clear coat on top of it just to give it some weight. And there we are. Now we're going to let that sit. Okay, so it's the next day. Our plexiglass has been epoxied in. It's stationary. We can see through it. We got our handle. The next thing we're going to do is just take everything apart. And I need to run this through the saw right here just to clean this edge up. And then I'm going to use the router bit to round those off so it's easier for drinking. And then some wood wax. And we'll be done. Real quick, this episode of Hammer and Nails is brought to you by Ray's Energy Drink. Ray's Energy is loaded with amino acids, 0 carbs, 0 sugars, and 0 crash, full of electrolytes. So if you're constantly busy like I am and need that extra push to get through your day, you're going to want to get Ray's Energy. You can get them at GNC, Vitamin Shop, and some local retail stores. If you want to drink one of the best energy drinks I've had in a long time, you want to go to repsports.com and enter discount code DADBOD86 to receive 15% off your order. Ray's Energy. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Wanted to give you a final update on the mystery beer. It was so good that I had to have Mrs. Hammer and Nails put a second one in here. I have no idea what it is, but oh my God, it's very delicious. Oh, very light, very refreshing, goes down easy. I'm definitely able to see this being a beer for everyday drinking. It is absolutely delicious. Probably my first or second favorite I've had on the show. So, and Wobbly Wheel, my very first one, that was fantastic. So this one, absolutely great. I highly recommend it when we find out what it is. So let's get back to putting the wood wax and finalizing the mug. Now it's time to put the brand on it, and I'm not so certain how this is going to work, so we're going to give it our best. is some Virginia Boys Kitchen Wood Wax. This is food safe, so we can go ahead and drink out of it. Well, now it's time to reveal the mystery beer. We have Cheetah. It's a lager, 4.8% alcohol by volume, by the Rheingeist Brewing Company, made in good old Cincy, Ohio. Heck yeah, man. A local beer. That's awesome. This stuff is so good. Let's take a look at the can. All right. Well, there we are. Rheingeist Cheetah. It says, swift in body and mind, Cheetah sprints ever forward, a blur of pure instinct. Buena onda. Pure, crisp, clean, blissful simplicity. Savor this moment. Man, it's already hitting me. All we have and all we need is now. Feel free, and therefore you are. Oh, the stuff's good. If you're a lighter beer drinker, man, this stuff is great. I could definitely see myself drinking these at, I've said it before, barbecues about all the time. Definitely all the time. This is a very good beer. Well, let's get our rating. Here at Hammer and Ales, we rate our beers on a scale of 0 to 5, 0 being the worst, and 5 being the best. And this Cheetah by Rheingeist, in my personal opinion, because I like lighter style beers, I give it a good 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 hammers. I think maybe our third 5 hammer on the show. Absolutely delicious. I love it. Fantastic. Now, for the part everybody's been waiting for, we got our little clear spot here. Here we go. Well, there we are. From Hammer and Ales to all of you guys, hope to see you next time. Got our little sight glass in case Grandma sneaks up on me at the barbecue again. I'm on to you. Oh. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all of the above. Hope to see you next time.